Start.
So, have a little bit of stream issues there. Hopefully, we are back up and running now. It looks like we might be. Something is definitely broadcasting anyway, so that's a good start. Yeah, so Zach, just give your thoughts on the first half while I play about a little bit with this and see if
Michael,
we can get something going.
if you're having an issue with your stream, you should have it looked at, Michael. But no, I didn't get in on the conversation you guys were having about just the first half. It was, I think, overall a good, respectable start from Canada. But yeah, you guys are right. Other than the 15, 20 minutes where they kind of were on the front foot, the game got bogged down in midfield, and they weren't able to kind of really just put the pressure on Haiti to get the second in the first half. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, Herdman will help to make maybe some adjustments at the half in terms of maybe even pressing even a little bit more, and they'll have hopefully some conversations about overcoming the pitch. I think they're talking a little bit about that right now on things, but on some of the replays. But yeah, I think they need to have a quick word and a little bit of Herdman motivation to go into the second half, and again start on the front foot to add to the lead, and again hopefully add more than one, so that things are more comfortable going forward.
Yeah, and that being bogged down in the midfield definitely led to a few nervous moments where there was some sloppy play and turnovers, and certainly that's not what you want. And well, it's an obvious statement, but to get bogged down there, that's danger territory, right? So certainly, I think putting it on the front foot is got to be a strategy in the second half.
And interesting stuff too. They were mentioning some of the stuff on One Soccer. Scott Kennedy, the guy that everybody is wondering how he was going to play, won 6 duels in the first half, so it's a good sign from him. Only 1 foul in overall. So it'd be interesting to see how they're gonna approach the second half too, because they are playing 3 at the back. Do they move those fullbacks a little bit deeper for more coverage, or does the midfield move deeper? And what kind of substitutions are we looking at in the second half as well?
Yeah, do you think there'll be any? I don't know that there'll be any to start the half, right?
No, I don't see that at all. I think they want to go for that second goal, but what happens after, if they do score that second goal? Do they change? And what happens if Haiti scores?
Yeah, I think if they got to 3, I think that's when they'll make some changes, take out some of the big guns, give them a little bit of rest. Even at 2, it's a bit risky because 1 goal lets Haiti right back into the tie.
Yeah, and if they get that second goal, then they got the worst lead in football as well. Remember that?
Oh, of course.
So
trying to update our Facebook page for folk that's been watching.
Yeah, I updated the VWFC fans one as well. I added.
It wouldn't be CONCACAF if the streams didn't crash. It goes back to the old days.
Well, we were harping on One Soccer. One Soccer for me this week has been fine. It's our stream that keeps crashing.
Oh, I know. So it's like we can't. It's like pot calling the kettle black. Yeah. It's like we've got no excuse now. So we apologise, One Soccer.
People were complaining about TSN when the Euro started that they were having trouble with TSN streams. So
yeah.
Oh. So let's. I was going to say let's talk about the Euros. What have you made of the action so far? Obviously, we'll start off by saying we wish Christian Eriksen a very, very speedy recovery. That was
scary.
So scary this morning. Like my stomach was literally churning. I felt sick watching that. It was just absolutely horrible to watch. It looks like he's going to make, I don't want to say a full recovery, but I mean, it looks like he's on the way to getting better. We don't yet know what it was, lasting effects, stuff like that, unless anything's come out while we've been doing the stream. But, I mean, were you guys watching that live? I know a few of us were. It was really, really scary stuff.
I wasn't watching it live, but then I turned on the TV and I saw Finland and Denmark playing. I go, wasn't this game supposed to be over by now? Like, I was going, what's going on? So I went all the way back, and then I saw it. Then I watched it, went back and watched it live. even though because I had heard that there was a medical emergency with Christian Eriksen, even hearing that and then was starting to watch it, it still makes you emotional, or it scares the heck out of you, even watching it afterwards. Just watching the reaction on people's faces, that you could, I got to commend whoever did the producing in that game, because they did not linger on what was happening on the right and close with Christian Eriksen. They didn't show any replays. Where if it was American TV, I guarantee you there would be a lot of replays, and they'd be going right in there. And so I commend that for that. And then just when they did get in, what stuff that was going on, extremely scary. And you could tell the reaction of the players on both sides and the fans in the stands that it was something very serious.
So, I mean, there were a couple shots at the beginning, and I think to your point, Steve, clearly they got the memo. Let's pull back on before they really knew the full scale of what was going on. There was a few horrifying, not zoomed in, but you could see things that you probably wouldn't want to see. I also want to add, just on a personal note, back when I was a teenager, sorry, this is going off a little bit, but I played American football and was involved in a play where I tackled somebody and I took out their legs as they were jumping out, and they fell on their neck. And it was one of the most heart-wrenching experiences, and I got some serious flashbacks to that. The other person was taken off the field. He didn't have control over his legs at the time when he left, and so I got a lot. I was very emotional because I found it very hard to watch. So I mean, that's just my personal reaction. You never want to see this. We all engage in athletic activity and watching sports and participating in sports because we love the game and we wish everyone well, regardless of whether they're on our team or not. So
just a quick tweet about people watching wondering why the game restarted and everything. Fabrizio Romano tweeted out that Eriksen had a FaceTime call with his teammates from the hospital and asked them to play the game, to go on with the game. So that I just thought I'd mention that as well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was like Michael. I was watching live, and it was surreal. I've never experienced being in that situation, but I mean, a few weeks ago, I was doing some training on what you do in situations like that, just for work, with an AD, with a portable defibrillator, which I believe is called an AD, and so it was like unbelievable. It just felt so unbelievable. We were talking before. I know lots of people have been criticizing the broadcasters. I didn't like. I know we could all have turned off. People like myself that didn't like it. I'll just say I just thought it was a bit too intrusive, and you wanted to know what was going on, but some of the things they showed, I just did not expect them to show. I did not expect them to show on screen him getting CPR and defibrillator use and chest compression. I don't expect to see that. I expect them to cut away and not show that. But okay, and that's totally fair and valid. But like, how much did they show of that? I felt like it was like two times, and for like really, really brief.
Yeah,
it was brief, but it totally like my wife was watching that and she was very upset by it.
Yeah,
I totally understand people being upset by it, and that also is very valid. But I tend to more agree with what Steve was saying earlier in terms of like they could have been far more intrusive, and I think people weren't watching out of a like, oh, I want to see this car wreck. They were watching because they're like, I hope this guy is okay, right? And so I don't know. I'm not saying it's not valid if you thought it was bad how they handled it. I didn't think it was the worst.
It could have been hell. It could have been done a lot worse than that.
And I agree. I maybe just teaming up with Michael here. I kind of, beyond just what they were showing, I just wondered if they could have just gone back to studio. Like, why did we need the on-field people talking about it? I just didn't know why they didn't. I go, maybe they hadn't called the game or officially delayed it, or again, I don't know the full details about what was happening, but I just felt like cut back to studio. Why are you making these poor guys try to do this on the fly while someone's dying on the pitch? You know.
And to be fair, they did, and when they did that, they had other kinds of issues, right?
Yeah, you're gonna.
Yeah,
you're gonna,
which I
you're
turned
gonna,
off by that point, but yeah.
You're gonna have it's a no. You're gonna have
no
people
win.
like it's no win for them because you're gonna have a lot of people complaining that they cut away. Because people want to know what's going on, and so I know it's something personal for Christian, but it's also a news event. So you would have had a lot of people complaining that they pulled away. Like I said, I wish they hadn't gone to those 2 times when they went in close or whatever. I agree with Michael there. But for the most part, they did a decent job where they stayed away. And the Denmark players, the fact that they shielded their teammate was remarkable as well. So they knew exactly what they needed to do. Well, the one thing I was
second half just kicked off in the Canada game for me.
Just quickly, quickly. The thing that most disturbed me was the fact that there was no ambulance ready to come on the pitch.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Why is that? I don't understand why that wasn't prepared and ready to go.
I don't know if they couldn't fully get on, or if it was a case that it was too dangerous to try and move him, that they had to just do things initially on the pitch. But I was so surprised because you're just so used to when things happen here.
Well, are there some rules too after Peter Cech's injury about there being? I know that was Premier League, but I thought there was some widespread rules like within FIFA and the Euro.
So aside from my expertise with metatarsal issues, I'm not an expert at all. However, from this training that I just did like not that long ago, I think, yes, you could have maybe had an ambulance on a pitch waiting or whatever, but the primary thing you need to do is deal with the issues that are happening, and the issues seem really, really serious. So I think their whole focus was on you need to deal with this, because you can't getting in an ambulance is you need the person to be on, or the being on the ground.
Stable. Okay, makes sense.
So
they did bring out the stretcher, and then they called off the stretcher. Like the stretcher was there, and then they pushed it aside because they had to. To Zach's point, they had to deal with the issue at hand.
Could they have an ambulance there, for afterwards? Yeah, maybe, I guess. But I think you're directly responding to the most significant issues, and you can't worry about the other things and stuff. The other thing, we're talking about the privacy or the whatever. That's the first time I've seen teammates kind of rally like that. Which
I liked how they did that. It was interesting. Some just couldn't look. Some were watching everything as it played out.
And his Simon Kjær, how he must know some stuff, because he did the making sure his airway was clear and rolling on the side, which you're supposed to do, or I think you're supposed to do. And,
I mean, we still don't know the cause as far as I know, but. I'm sure that'll come out. No point speculating, but you do have to wonder what it means for his future. It's just it's a miracle that he got through that, and everyone should just be really grateful. Just wanted to read a comment from the chat. Ryan McLeod said his wife's healthy cousin in his 20s died from a cardiac incident during a soccer match. So you can be young, you can be fit. It's just it can happen at any time. Yeah. We're 2 minutes into the second half of Canada-Haiti. It's 1-0 to Canada. Kyle Larn with the first half goal. Anyone that's just joined us, thank you. Anyone that's rejoined us from our stream failure, thank you as well. Hopefully we make it through to the end. It was a good first half from Canada. Things got bogged down a little bit. Haiti started the second half making a bit more of the running though, and they just sent a cross into the box there that just overshot everyone. Still pretty confident Canada's going to get through this.
But this is the one where you want to watch the second half, because obviously the goal, going back to the Gold Cups, what happened there. So they just need to maintain it and keep it going.
I think Haiti's made 1 or 2 substitutions as well.
Yeah, I was going to say there's none for Canada. I was trying to see who Haiti had possibly brought on.
I wonder if the Canadian tweeted. No, I don't
not
see
on the Canada
tweet.
soccer thing, but it might be on One Soccer. Probably not.
A total side issue from the chat, Michael. Mm-hmm. John O'Flynn has joined. And he says, good to see everyone. Had an opportunity to watch Blaze and Kofu play last night in Burnaby.
Oh,
To share more about Blaze's soccer pedigree with my son today, who was playing against him.
oh, interesting. Yes, I saw Blaze as a coach many times. He was with Reno's Tigers for a little bit. I believe he's back with Reno's for VMSL that is to come. So that is fantastic. Yeah, Blaze got a great academy and fielded a lot of his young guys in the VMSL for the few games that they did get to play in October time. So, yeah, good for that. So, time check for anyone watching. I'll just break off here. It's another Haiti ball into the box, but no one getting onto it. Haiti are getting a bit of success going up the right wing in this second half, but the delivery's either been overhit or there's been no one in the box when the ball comes over. But we'll do a time check. I'm at 49.45.
I'm 10 or 11 seconds ahead of you.
I'm about the same time as you, Michael, which is surprising. Maybe I need to fast forward here.
Yeah, you must have had a slight pause or whatever. So yeah, in this, we'll continue talking about the game in this second half. Obviously, we will touch a bit on the Euros. We didn't get a full chance to chat about it. That's a booking for Mark Anthony Kay for a foul about 35 yards out from goal, giving Haiti a free kick here. Don't want to be picking up too many cheap bookings. I don't know what carries into the Octagon qualifying and what doesn't.
Farhan has mentioned, I don't know if you guys saw this, that Davies and Laria have switched sides. So Davies is on the right and Laria is on the left.
Interesting. Jonathan Flynn's a bit ahead of us on his stream. So good to know that we're all over the place. That's the issues with these watch-alongs. But it's a free kick here to Haiti.
Well, it's better that he be ahead, that we don't spoil anything.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Easily cleared by Canada there, but Haiti keeping the pressure on. Oh, a lovely tackle there from Fonzie.
I'm looking for information on the subs, and I don't see CONCACAF tweeting about this game, and I don't see any Haitian football Twitter tweeting about this.
It was on the screen, so I'm sorry.
Okay.
You said something was happening. Here we go. Let's see what happens here.
Oh no!
Cut out by Canada. It's a streaking forward. Ooh. Kyle Larin in on goal, 1-on-1, and a great stop by the goalkeeper. You've got to say there, but you would expect Larin to do better. Yeah, try and maybe chip it. He seemed to try and poke it past him, but
I thought he tried to chip a bit.
Did he? It wasn't much of a chip.
No.
As Ryan McLeod says, that was Matic's-like breakaway. But to be fair to Kyle Larin, he does put the ball in the back of the net quite a bit more than what Darren Matic did. Jason Arman says that should have been a goal. Absolutely.
I think he also...
we need to bury those. Absolutely.
I was going to say...
Oh, boy.
I was going to say something else about Darren, but maybe I should reserve a comment.
Oh, a lovely little overhead kick from Haiti there, tipped away by Borjan.
Big save.
Yeah.
That was a big save. Also,
that's what I meant by oh boy. Yeah, that's all right.
I thought it was oh boy from the Kyle Larin thing. I thought you were way behind us. But yeah, Haiti with a great chance. After that Larin effort, Haiti goes straight up the pitch there. Borjan, great save. Very acrobatic overhead kick from Haiti there. Yeah. Tipped away by Milan Borjan. Corner to Haiti coming up. Haiti's best chance of the game. Haiti flipped the corner in. Bit of a scramble in the box. Punched away by Borjan. And a foul given away by Haiti. Canada can breathe a sigh of relief there.
Jeff Wallace, also from the island, has joined us and in the chat and says Canada needs to finish those types of chances that Larin had.
That's the kind. I mean, that showed you how costly that could have been with Haiti going up the other end and having a chance of their own. I mean, for all that Haiti were not in this game in that first half. I mean, they weren't a threat. They weren't anything in that first half. This showed the danger that they've got. I mean, I watched the game, as I was saying in the first half, against Nicaragua, and they showed very little. And Nicaragua had so many chances that they could actually have gone through and been playing Canada in this one. But Haiti's still a danger. You still do have those ghosts of the Gold Cup, of that second half comeback from Haiti in that. But hopefully that's a little bit of a warning sign for Canada, that they can't be too complacent. They can't kind of ease off the gas a little bit. I think they've got to be fully focused for the remaining 32 minutes or so of this one.
Yeah, they need to be focused. They need to be committed. I wonder if the Davy switching sides has anything to do with the pitch. Like if it's
Maybe.
worse on one side, then they wanted to play on the smoother side.
Well, it looks worse at the side that Davies is on in this half.
Well, there's those two dark spots. Was that there in the first half? I don't remember.
Yeah, they were. That was two of the bits of the pitch that were absolutely sodden in the Nicaragua game. In fact, the most sodden bits in the Nicaragua game are the bits that's closest to the camera.
The crazy
you can see that.
The crazy part is, as you watch it, it looks like maybe they're playing on turf and all the marbles are flying up.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. So I think they've put pellets down to try and solidify the pitch.
Like there, when it bounces, it's like
Canada breakaway here. Is that Fonzie? It was. For anyone that was in the chat in the first half, I do have all the chat comments that you guys put up. So I am going to get to some of these because hopefully you're still on the stream. Apologies for our technical difficulties. So James Sutherland says, if we don't get CONCACAF before the 70th minute, we should be okay. I think that's pretty true.
Oh,
Ryan McLeod, going back to the midfield chat, says if Canada finds a good midfielder, they can sign with Vancouver. Well, I was trying to pitch David Wotherspoon to Mark DeSantis when I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago. He wasn't a player that the Whitecaps had even looked at. So,
but to be fair, the Whitecaps don't even look at some of the own players whose rights they have. So.
Yes,
yeah,
that's true. But
glory.
Well, Axel sheds a little bit more light on the Glory situation.
Oh,
and
nice.
You will hear that in our chat in the next episode of the podcast as well. But I would have thought a David Witherspoon type character. Now, to be fair, he probably doesn't want to leave St Johnstone. I'm pretty sure his family don't want to leave Scotland because they're very settled there. But at least inquire about him, which was a bit surprising.
Did Axel's comments on Amanda fill you with glorious purpose?
No, I have to say. A lot of what he said did not fill me with glorious purpose, though. But yeah, we'll come to that later on. Jason Armand says that this Canada team is amazing. When I first started supporting the Canadian men's national team, our best player was Russell Tybert,
and he's an American, or half American, half Canadian. He moved to Canada.
Oh, well, he's moved to a beautiful part of the world as well.
We've recruited him.
Living on the island. I want to retire in Sydney or PEI or Ely in Fife in Scotland. That's the three things I've penciled out. I think Sydney is ruled out for me cost-wise, so PEI is still a possibility for me.
We hung out in Sydney once, didn't we?
Yes, we did. I loved it. Oh, another chance for Haiti there. Better than the... I don't know what's happened in this second half. Haiti have raised the game a little bit, but the Canadian defence, there seems to be a little bit of communication issues at the back.
Do you think they took the hairdryer off the pitch and put it on the players?
I missed it. I don't know if you guys missed it, but there was a yellow card to Mark Anthony Key.
I mentioned that, yeah.
You did?
Someone mentioned it.
So it's another free kick to Haiti here.
If you're
giving away a lot of cheap free kicks.
If you're worried about that yellow to Mark Anthony Kay, who do you replace him with? Piet, Weatherspoon?
I'd stick Witherspoon on, I've got to say, but Witherspoon's more attacking midfield. Yeah. Mark's obviously going to do a good defensive shift, but Piet doesn't offer what Witherspoon would in attack. But do we need that right now? Maybe just shore up that back line because there does seem
not the last few minutes.
Look at the Haiti number 9. Acres of space here. If they chip the ball into him, but they haven't, they've gone to the back post. The number 11 for Haiti was absolutely free if they had managed to just do a little chip onto him.
That would be Derek Etienne, number 11.
Oh, yes, who scored the goal that put them through to this phase. Beautiful finish.
He's from Dead Bull, right?
Yes.
I believe he did play at one point. If he's still not there.
I don't know if he's still there. He came on as a sub, in the second thing. So it's a corner for Haiti. Steve's obviously got to that. A header. Oh, Etienne! Across the face of the goal and hit over for another corner for Haiti. Canada are scrambling here. They are all over the place defensively. They need to get that sorted out. You've got to say. That was very dangerous from Etienne. You kind of want him to get the ball on target there if you're a Haiti supporter, but another corner for Haiti coming in now and cleared by Canada. But Haiti's had a couple of looks in the second half. On the plus side, Canada holding firm. But I don't know what's happened.
Last 5 to 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. I mean, Haiti have certainly looked a much different team in the second half here.
Oh, that effort got good reaction from the military in the back.
Yeah, understandable. Throw into Haiti. The far side of the pitch, just flicked on into Borjan. Hopefully can kind of calm the defence down a little bit. That has been Haiti's best spell of the game the last 10 minutes. They've looked really dangerous. I mean, I still feel comfortable, but I mean, it shows that Haiti have got a threat there. They've got to really watch. I thought Borjan carried the ball over there when he kicked that, but we won't complain too much about that. Oh, a dangerous header back to the Haiti keeper. Almost pounced on by Lair. Canada's fallen out of this as an attacking threat, though.
It's a little bit too open for my liking for what they need, but yeah, they I think they just kind of need to put their foot on the ball and maybe slow it down and play a little bit more possession, which I know they have the pace to kind of play otherwise, but I think they maybe need to slow the game down a bit.
Yeah, possession stats have gone a little bit the other way too. It was 67, somewhat like with 10 minutes to go. In the first half, it's down to 57 for Canada. So Haiti obviously carried the ball a little bit more too. Oh, Adekubi coming on.
Oh, that should shore things up a little bit, so that's good. While he's coming on, get to some more of the
For
chat.
who, though? I can't see for who.
Mark Anthony Kay.
Mark Anthony Kay. How does that change the formation?
Well, that's an interesting one.
So they're going
to go flat back four, yeah.
Toward the back.
Oh, okay.
They clearly have to.
Because Kennedy's going to be in the middle with Vittoria.
So Laria plays left back? Oh no, no.
He'll play wide right
back.
midfield.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, right back. Yes, right back. Davies is now in left midfield.
Yeah, I'm happier with that. This is the kind of formation I would like to see probably more in the octagon against the bigger teams. I think we have to go 4 at the back. I don't think we've got the luxury of going 3 at the back.
Michael, did you see the comments of some linking Sam with a potential, like the Whitecaps inquiring about Sam?
Yeah, he was linked to the Whitecaps and DC United, but it looks like he's heading to Hungary. That seems to be the strongest rumours, because those rumours had come out before the MLS interest. I'd be very, very surprised if he wanted to come back to the Whitecaps.
Well, that's my first thought, was would he even want to come? It's one of these classic things, like just because the team asks doesn't mean the player wants to.
That's very casual military there that we just saw leaning against the fence.
Is it because his time at Villoranga has dried up, like his playing time?
No, I think it's just that he maybe fancies pasture new, and I think going to Hungary would be a step up for him. Going to DC United or the Whitecaps, maybe not as much.
It could be the classic agent thing where that rumor is spread by the agent in order to
get a better deal.
Get a better deal with Hungary.
Yeah,
get the ball rolling.
So a free kick for Canada here, whipped in by Alphonso Davies to the back post, punched over for a corner by the Haiti keeper there.
Well, you guys are ahead of me now.
That's weird.
Well,
I don't understand what's going on.
And then I was ahead of Michael, and now I'm on the same time as Michael. I don't get it.
My stream crashed for a second. I had to reset it. So I don't know.
I'll get to some more of the chat things after this corner. So, I mean, this would be the ideal time. Canada get a second just past the hour mark here. We're into the 63rd minute. About to hit 64 minutes.
Okay, I got to read this. This is from the chat from Ryan.
Corner coming in from Canada and cleared by Haiti quite comfortably, but
our good friend Ryan
still on.
Our good friend Ryan in the chat says there are rumors that the coach told Haiti that Steve misspelled the country's name, and that's what fired them up for the second.
I think they probably printed it off. Yeah. They've got Mike Petke there going, "Where's the freaking printer? It's jammed on me." It's like, I need to get this pinned up.
Every time I think of that printer, I also think of Office Space. They're like,
Mike
Petke's in the back with a hammer.
Oh, fantastic film. Haven't seen that for years. I've got that on DVD.
Oh, that was good, Ryan. Thank you. Colton asked in the chat. I kind of commented on there, but Colton asked in the chat, why couldn't Davies just go to left back? He plays at a high level in the Champions League in a back four as a left back. And I sort of said, well, the first thing is the difference in the levels of players he's playing with at club level, national team level is one of the reasons why. Plus, I think Davies can also play really well with an overlapping fullback as well. So
yeah, I think this is one of the biggest dilemmas for John Herdman, is what he does with Alphonso Davies, because you don't want to lose his attacking threat, which he can bring from left back, but at the same time as well, if the defence, as we've talked about, is maybe one of the weaker aspects of the Canadian team, I don't want my left back tearing forward as much as Fonzie likes to do. And I know he gets back with Bayern. I know he's got that pace, but it's so easy to be caught. He's lucky, I feel, that he doesn't get caught more often. You can't just rely on pace to close guys down all the time.
And the thing is him playing at left back might have cost the Bayern Munich coach his job.
Yeah, fired after just winning that.
Yeah, so it's you want to be careful about that stuff.
Steve, people who don't know you're being sarcastic are going to think you're ignorant when you say that.
But he got fired.
Podcast,
He got fired.
It's a running joke.
He didn't get fired though. That's the whole thing. Okay, so
right. I forgot. Bayern Munich fired the German national team coach. So
no,
I forgot about that.
Because he wouldn't play Fonzie.
So what's happening in midfield now? Is Eustáquio like the only actual real central midfielder? Has Osorio dropped back?
I
think so. I think Osorio has dropped back a little bit, probably.
Because I'm worried about that middle of the park. I think they need a Piet.
Yeah,
we've like for a big chunk of this game though, we've lost the middle of the park.
That's even more reason to bring on a Piet.
Yeah. I guess you don't want to be too defensive when you're just one up, because you do want to get that second goal. But ultimately, it's like they're one up. You've got to feel they're going to get it done in the second leg. I'll be honest, this is closer than I was expecting. I thought Canada would go 2 up in the first half, maybe grab a third in the second. The chances were there for them to do it. And maybe not created the chances, but the opportunity was there because Haiti were not playing well in that first half. So there's a bit of an injury break here. So in the first half of the stream, we had chatted a little bit about John Herdman and his future and stuff. So I just want to get through some of the chat comments on that. Jonathan Tannenwald had said that Zach has known him for long enough to know that how much of a cynic he is at times. That is true.
And I said I appreciate his cynicism.
Yeah. Navid Masinchi, I was worried that the players wouldn't take him seriously coming from the women's game. Thankfully, they did respond well. I think he has been doing a decent job, and I think he should be judged at the end of the World Cup qualifiers. 100%. Should he be the coach for 26 if he doesn't make it to 22? That's going to be the burning question. My gut, honestly, says no, but it is still a tall order to try and make it to 22 when you've got Mexico and the US that are almost guaranteed to the 3 places that go through. So maybe I think if they do a good enough showing, I'd be prepared to see more.
And the thing is back in the day, you would not get that many people applying for the Canadian job. And I think that's changed a little bit too. With guys
now
like
you'd
Davies
get so much, especially with hosting the 26 World Cup. This is a plum job.
So I think it puts a lot more pressure on Herdman than you think it would be. Is that there will be people clamoring. I guarantee you, we talked about agents before. I guarantee you some of the agents for these coaches would say, like put it in there that this guy's interested in this job if Herdman doesn't make it to a certain point or whatever. There definitely will be those rumblings if that happens, no matter whether it's deserved or not.
Well, it's such a great crop of talent, like to have that at your disposal. I definitely feel it's a plum job in international football right now because of what this team can be. But I mean, Herdman, like even if he doesn't make it to 22, I'd still maybe give him unless it's an absolutely disastrous campaign in the octagon, And I know I'm getting ahead of myself, and we're only 1-0 up in this game. But unless it's a complete disaster, I think you maybe give him to like the next Gold Cup, and there's still time after that to get somebody in, because you're talking 2026, so it's a long, long way away. But I mean, thankfully, this game's kind of died again a little bit. Haiti had that spurt, but now it seems to just have, again, got bogged down a little bit. It's like, it's not very exciting. We're killing the game off well. Oh, I forgot Johnston was playing.
Good CONCACAF tactics, but with that injury break there.
Something from the chat here. Oh, yes, this is important. From Colton Murner. Don't know if it was mentioned earlier because I missed the start of this, but for those without One Soccer, a Haitian stream is on YouTube that isn't geo-blocked.
Yeah, I meant to. I didn't know whether to say or not, because obviously didn't want to take folk away from here. But yeah, I watched the Haiti-Nicaragua game on Tuesday. There was about 5 streams that were up for that. A few of them got taken down though at half time. So CONCACAF had claimed rights at half time. So
yeah, and if you want to watch it, go ahead. You could have 2
have
windows open.
Have both going. Just make sure you keep us going as well.
Yeah, don't leave us.
Yeah. And if you haven't, if you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. We really, really need you to get our subscription numbers up.
I was just going to say, for those of you who are watching, Michael often likes to mention some of our larger goals, but if you could just help us reach the 400 mark, that would mean if just 3 of you who aren't subscribed could subscribe, we could take that next step to 400 on our way to Michael,
1 million.
1,000 to start with. And then the world.
I'm targeting 1 million. I'm also targeting people maybe watching our Euros preview show if you haven't done that. It's like, it was maybe not the best time that we put it out. 11:40 on Thursday night, the day before the thing started. It's still very relevant. There's a lot of fun chat to be had. Check it out. But here's a Haiti break here. Haiti's getting their most success, I think, up their right side.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Which is another reason why I think they might have brought Sam on.
Yeah. Good to see Sam's injury in the Aruba game wasn't bad at all.
Haiti's made a total of 4 substitutions, 1 on their back line and 3 in their midfield line, just behind the forward.
I know number 10 came on for sure. He was one of the guys standing on the sideline.
Speaking of injuries, and sorry to divert this, I know this is a Canada stream. Is Kamiri injured in San Antonio again? Did anyone hear?
Yeah, I tweeted that out last night.
Is it a braid injury?
It's a lower body injury. Now, he played their game June 2nd, so last weekend, or June 3rd, and then he missed the game last night, because I like to just see how he's doing, so I checked. The game was on live and on YouTube, and I thought, see if Kamiri's playing, and he wasn't. So then I checked the Twitter, and it said he was out with a lower body injury. He's made of glass. I genuinely feel for the guy. He is a really nice guy. I've spoken to him a couple of times when he was here. Those injury worries, though, I know Steve says I always go on about folks' injuries, but this is this is legitimate. This is a big concern for him.
What was that? I can't. I'm drawing a blank on the center back's name that we drafted. Christian Dean.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, it's very similar to that.
He's come out of retirement though. He's
no, I know that, yeah. but he was having injury after injury.
He had to call it a day as well.
Where one time I think the surgery was botched or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember now. I could be wrong on that, so don't hold me on that.
So
don't see him punk me.
Yeah. 2 things I was going to say is hopefully we kept the receipt on Kamiri, or we can take him back to Costco because they'll take most things back. It
is crazy though how many injuries he's had.
Oh yeah. So the other thing is so Christian Dean, a bit of a call out to my father, who's actually a physician. And he's also a big Whitecaps fan, and we went and saw many games together. And I remember telling him
he didn't watch the surgery, did he?
No, but I was saying
I was worried about that saying that before.
When Christian Dean started to have his problems, I think he broke his foot the 3rd time. My father said, "Oh, feet are a problem," once you start breaking bones, you continue to break them because there's not a lot of good nerves, at least at the top of the foot. Ooh. And that also oxygen doesn't get to the foot as well as other parts of the body because it's at the bottom of the blood
system, circulatory system. Yeah.
Yeah. So once you start breaking your feet, you keep on. But the botch surgery obviously didn't help.
Yeah.
No, and it was nerve damage. So in actuality, even like the thing is Michael, you might remember this better, but he said that even if it breaks, I won't feel it or something like that. Like
he
wouldn't feel the injury.
Yeah, he said that to us
because of the surgery. So he had to be very, very careful, and because he wouldn't even know it would have broken.
And that's got to get into your mentality as well when you're playing the game. When you're really going to give it full out, and you're not sure whether you put your foot down and you're going to fall or something.
So a break for Canada here. Fonzie set it up to. I didn't see who had the shot there. I want to say maybe Adekukwe because it was out on the left. Easily saved by the Haitian keeper. Now, Kyle Larn went down the box a little bit earlier there, and we haven't had a replay. I don't know, penalty shout or not, but...
There's VAR. The referee's down. Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we collided with a couple players or our player.
Oh, he put his hand up. He wants a switch off.
I think
he's time wasting. I think it's time wasting.
Estacio, I think, stood in his leg.
Oh. A couple things from the chat.
Not looking in a good way.
Our friend Kunarad's in there. He says, one more subscriber well on our way to 1 million. Also, Texicano man says, interestingly, if Canada wins this match, they won an away match, something the U.S. usually struggle in their away matches.
That's true.
And then Colton Murner says, as long as Canada does... Oh, no, sorry, that's not the one.
This is also the first actual away match that Canada's played for ages. And by away, I mean outside of the US. Yeah. Like a proper hostile environment. This isn't looking good for the ref.
No. How many subs do they have on the ref team? One.
Does the ref get to pick which training staff treats him?
Yes, the Haitian training
because he seemed to be waving them off at first or something like that. I don't know.
Oh no, you guys!
Magic spray. Colton Murner says, when in relations to the Octo, he said it could be very interesting because of these away matches, and if Canada can do well on away matches. One other question from Hux is
some tough away ones that Canada's going to be facing.
For real. One other question from Hux in regards to substitutions and playing time. He says, why isn't Liam Miller getting any game time? Do you guys think Liam Miller is an option in a game like this?
I don't think so.
I think it's more to like his playing. I don't know. I can't remember where he's playing right now. Is he on loan? Was he on loan this past year?
He got loaned out. Now he was with Kilmarnock. He went back to Liverpool. They loaned him out. I want to say to Charlton, but I might be completely wrong there.
Yeah,
I think it's Wikipedia currently says Liverpool, doesn't it?
I think it's a lot to do with playing time with him, whether he can play. I think he's been put down the pecking order for some people.
Buchanan's coming on to replace the ref.
Yeah, Buchanan and Henry have been waiting to come on for a couple of minutes here.
Oh, and Henry's coming on to replace Laren. Wow.
Miller did go to Charlton for the season. 27 appearances, 2 goals. So he was playing regularly with a team that had done not too bad in the championship.
I'm honestly so confused by this formation right now. I don't know what's going on, where everybody is. I guess
the issue that Canada's got, though, you've got all these players and it's trying to shoehorn them into some kind of formation.
So is Alistair Johnson playing right back right now? I'm assuming. Does he play right
Henry
back?
Coming on, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Michael, important update for you. Very, very important update.
Hopefully it's not that the stream's died.
No, we are now at 401 subscribers. So now we can
one more to 1 million.
Push on towards 500 or maybe.
What's the 500 goal? What are we giving to the subscribers at 500?
Yeah, we need to do some giveaways or these.
Yeah.
I'll shave myself with Manscaped.
Oh no, people don't want that.
Oh, if you don't subscribe, I'll shave myself with Manscaped.
That's like giving Steve chocolate.
We'll give Steve chocolate when we hit 1,000.
It's not Christmas yet.
Yeah, but that'll make me sick. You guys want to see me sick?
Yeah. No, I don't.
Yeah, because the stream didn't work.
Oh, I see. I get you. I understand what you mean, Zach, now. I understood what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, no one wants that. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh, have either of you read your Rock of the Reds book yet?
No, I'm going to read it with my son. So I've been waiting.
I'll wait to see if you like it, because there is a second one that I could possibly get you for this coming Christmas if you do.
Michael, the Topps Trump game.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a Star Wars one of it. I don't know where we got it, but the only thing I was texting you, I was really excited because I want to get more Marvel ones to add them. But the thing is, they don't go together. They're all individual packs. Like you can't play with them together.
No.
But I found a Marvel one. And Steve will know where.
Yeah, there's 2 other Marvel ones.
But I found it in person.
Oh,
At Toy Traders?
At Toy Traders, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was gonna get you one of the more modern ones, and I thought if you happen to have it, the chances of you having this one, because it didn't seem to exist in Canada, was a better option.
I love it.
I think this is the Jack Kirby era of Marvel. So it's fantastic.
I love that old. Oh, here's Canada on the break here. Tajam Buchanan trying to show a bit of footwork, taking off his feet though, and a little tug of the jersey. Talking of tugs of the jersey, anyone watched the Wales-Switzerland game this morning?
Yes.
Surely that was why would VAR not look at that penalty call at the end of the first half when the Wales player had the Swiss guy's jersey like this in Bolo? That was a penalty. Why would VAR not look at that?
I agree. It was nice to.
What is VAR there for?
I'm glad Mbolo got the goal.
I didn't know anything about him because I don't watch German football.
He
impressed me so much.
He's one of the good players that Mönchengladbach has, and they're going to lose a bunch of them this summer, like probably Marcus Thuram, who's in the France squad.
I think I undervalued Switzerland a little bit because I forgot how Zakiri, a couple other those players. They have quite a few of those players that are pretty solid. I think I was thinking back to the other Switzerland teams that have played in other tournaments, and I forgot how much they have improved their talent level.
As I've mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of the Swiss because their fans threw popcorn at me in Detroit in 1994.
Double sub Cavallini Piet.
Lucas.
David off. Yeah, David's off for Cavallini.
I'm surprised it's taken till the 81st minute to bring Piet on, I've got to say.
Yeah.
But thankfully, Canada weathered that 10-minute storm. So if you've just joined us, it's 1-0 to Canada. Kyle Larn with a first half goal. Scoreline's a lot closer than I expected, I've got to say. And Canada's been cruising for a chunk of the game, apart from a 10-minute spell at the start of the second half where Haiti really had a couple of good looks on goal and the Canadian defence was all over the place. But
I think that if they could have got that goal from Laren, that would have been a good one where he had all this.
That would have forced Haiti probably to open up a bit.
Open up more, yeah.
Osorio doesn't look
now for
so.
Cavallini, is he going to be just in that 6-yard box area? Is that where he's going to mostly be in this last little 10 minutes or something?
Well, as Mark DeSantis was asked during the week, if anyone didn't see it, JJ Adams from the province asked Mark DeSantis, Lucas Cavallini getting goals for Canada. Basically, why is he not doing it for the Whitecaps? I'll just break off here because it's a Haiti attack. Again, coming up the right side. Which is where they're getting all their luck just now, and they've got a corner out of this. I'll continue the Cavallini story after we get this corner. You feel this is Haiti's best chances from a set piece. Or a counter. We were asked in the chat, which we never got to, are Canada vulnerable on the counter? I think they are, but Haiti's not shown anything. So corner whipped in from Haiti here to the back post and easily dealt with, headed over at the back post. So yeah, Mark DeSantis was asked, Lucas Cavallini, he's scoring for Canada. He scored more goals for Canada than he has for the Whitecaps. And Mark DeSantis turned it around and said, why is that? And JJ said, he's getting service. And then Mark's like, but where is he? And I knew right away he meant he's in the 6-yard box, because that's where Cav has been scoring the goals. So he's wanting Cavallini with the Whitecaps to be in that 6-yard box. But Cava's trying to do too much, he says, and keeps going back to get the ball, which is understandable because he's bound to be pissed off with getting absolutely no service.
No, but the thing is, if he was in the 6-yard area for the Whitecaps, he wouldn't see the ball at all.
No, exactly.
So that's why he's doing it. So it's really
catch-22.
Let's send it back to Axel.
That's not a smoking gun, MDS. Like that's a smoking gun in the wrong way. Why is he going back to Steve's point, right? So.
I mean, we'll talk about this in the next podcast, but there definitely seems a little bit of disconnect between some of the things that Mark DeSantis is saying and some of the things that Axel's saying. Not sure how much on the same wavelength they are with a few things. One of them being the fact that they're opening the games up to fans. But we'll cover that in the podcast because we don't want to talk too much domestic stuff and getting sidetracked. Also, at the end of the game, I don't have to rush off right away for the post-game because it's going to be at least an hour after this because they're doing it back at the hotel. So we'll have a little chat about the Euros and a little bit of chat about Copa America just to round off this live stream.
The one thing I will mention about your Axel and Mark DeSantos interviews, I would love to see like a back. You know how you do those movie scenes where you have one person interrogated in one room and one in the other room, and you cut back and forth between the answers. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, because it would be like me saying to Mark, so are you excited about the fans going in? Why would I be excited, Axel? Yeah, the reason we're doing this is the players want the fans there.
Michael, can I give you an update from the chat?
Definitely, because I've neglected the chat. Sorry, guys.
Ryan, our friend Ryan has a suggestion. Here's the 500 subscriber giveaway. You choose spiritual advice from Zach or a mixtape from Michael.
Oh, yes. Mixtape. I used to love making mixtapes up. I still have them all.
I made quite a few too. Obviously, I don't think it's the musical taste would be yours, Michael, but I made quite a few myself.
Oh, Canada on a breakaway here. Estacio, I think that was playing the ball forward to Tajam Buchanan, who doesn't have the pace. Good pace shown there by the Haitian defender. I had rules with my mixtapes that the first track had to be an instrumental. And then they've all got themes.
Interesting.
No, I had it a thing where I would start off with a huge song, like a big song, and then kind of mellow it down, and then the third or fourth song would just pump it up again, kind of thing.
So I did a little DJing in my time, and that's a classic strategy, Steve. You know the classic strategy, which is hit with a banger, and then about 3 or 4 songs, depending on how long it is, do a couple big bangers, and then slow it down a little bit, and then end strong.
Yeah. I used to do that. Then I watched the movie. If you watch the movie High Fidelity,
yes.
It's a big recommendation. He goes over that strategy as well in there. And I was like, that's what I do.
You should read the book. The book's the best.
No, book's good.
The book's the best. The movie's second best. The new TV.
Oh, the book's fantastic. I love.
Oh,
Nick
I didn't realize it was a book either.
Yeah, Nick Hornby that wrote Fever Pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, another good movie.
And About a Boy and
a decent movie.
Down, he's really good.
But what version, Steve? The American one about baseball or the
UK
one about football?
I watched the American one. It was all right. I wasn't that excited about it. But then I found out it was a remake from the British one, and the British one's much better.
Oh yeah,
the American one, it's ruined by Jimmy Fallon, basically. That one.
Well, I never watched that. that.
It's
a debacle.
I watched it because it was the Red Sox, and I remember after the World Series they won that I saw them 2 on the field. So I decided to watch it because of that, and it wasn't very good at all.
I'm a Red Sox fan, and I didn't like it. So
I watched it just because I liked the book and the original film. About a Boy is another good Nick Hornby book.
That's another good movie too.
Yeah, and here's the thing: I don't know you, Michael, but it's one of the few times where I actually enjoyed the ending of the film or the adaptation of the film better than actually the book. Like the book is amazing. But the way the movie ended it, I liked so much better than the way the book ended.
Which one? The Fever Pitch?
About a Boy.
Oh, About a Boy. Yeah, I liked About a Boy. I'm gonna pick up these books now.
I've got them all here. I can give you a shot of them. There's another one. What if it's more?
Send me pictures on WhatsApp.
Long Way Down.
It's either I can't remember if it's How to Be Good or A Long Way Down. I've just looked them up. I've got another one that I love as well.
I have both.
It's a heavy challenge on Alfonso there. That's going to get the Haitian player a yellow card. He's also writhing about in agony on the ground here.
He's staying down to avoid the yellow. That's what he's hoping for.
So I don't want you to just let me know if you are going to drop off those books because I don't want to be thrown away. Or take a picture on WhatsApp and just keep sending me a picture at one day, like a page a day or something like that.
I tell you what, like seeing that again, that's Davies, I think, should get the book, and he threw himself at the Haitian guy there.
But he blocked his path.
Oh, it's okay. I thought they were calling the stretcher on, but they're saying they don't need the stretcher.
No. They're wasting time on their own pitch.
Yeah, this must be worrying for you though, Zach.
No.
Seeing Fonzie go down like that.
I was going to say, meanwhile, in an office in Bayern.
Oh, it seems to be his wrist that he may have hurt.
I think they're calling for a substitution, I think, or a hand. Oh no, what's that hand? Is that
Yeah,
substitution?
I thought that
or
was
don't
no. I thought they were just saying no stretcher.
Oh,
So-
I thought there was substitution or no substitution.
In the chat, Ian wants to know how optimistic should I be for August 21st against the Goats 2 at BC Place, or would that be a spoiler?
I think you could be quite optimistic that the Caps will play games at BC Place in August. How many fans are going to be in is a whole other thing. I think there might
One
be
fan,
some.
one flag?
Yep, that could be Ian. But
It could be.
I'm pretty confident that I think this whole NHL thing, I mean, it's also good for Canada. It's just come slightly too late. Otherwise, Canada could possibly have got this game on home soil. Zach's making faces because it's a free kick to Canada just now. Stachio over the ball, whips it into the back post, a header in front of goal, and in the 6-yard box. That's where you want Lucas Cavallini, but it wasn't Lucas Cavallini, so it's not a goal to Canada. Actually, who was that? Was it Vittoria?
5 minutes added.
Kennedy?
5 minutes added.
That's so MLS.
Was that Kennedy that had that chance, or was it Johnson?
I think it might have been Kennedy, but I'm not sure.
I'll let you know I'm behind, so I'll
okay.
update you right now.
5 minutes. 5.
Fouling all over the place. Referee.
I think that was Alistair. Let me see numbers.
That
was Kennedy. It was Kennedy. It was
Yeah,
number 4, I think it was.
Yeah, he's
boy, it's just the first half was good. The second half is just the stream has been dying.
Oh.
My stream.
Well, that's
Michael,
fine. I'd rather that die than this one, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, Haiti with a chance, whipped into the box of the back post, headed clear there by possibly Ada Cookby, and then they just hit the ball over. I mean, if Haiti sneak a goal here to make it 1-1, that makes Tuesday very, very interesting. I mean, right now, I'm confident, I'm comfortable. A 1-goal game, though, is really not what I was expecting to head into Tuesday with. Makes it a bit more nervy than I genuinely thought it would be. I did not rate this Haiti team at all.
The thing is that the Haitian team, they getting a better pitch might be beneficial to them too. It's just not. It might like this pitch is really an advantage to neither team. But I think Haiti, because they have a lot of speed, they could take advantage of that pitch in Chicago. Do you know what stadium is it? Where the Fire play or?
Yeah.
Okay.
John Herdman was
a very
talking
empty
about-
available one.
Yes. John Herdman was talking about how Chicago's been like a second home to them. He said he loved being in a city with such a storied sporting history and one of the best sporting teams of all time. And when he said that, I'm like, I had no idea who he was talking about, but then he clarified it was Chicago Bulls. Because I was thinking, Chicago Fire? Is he saying that's like one of the best teams in North America or the world?
No, but I thought, I was worried he was going to say the Cubs, and the Cubs didn't win for like 100 years. So I
thought
know.
White Sox, that's what popped into my head because I like 8 Man Out, if we're talking about movies again.
Yeah.
So
the Bears.
3rd minute of stoppage time, we're in of 5, and it is a corner to Canada.
I don't talk about the Bears.
Zach's ahead, of course. That kind of spoils it. I'm not going to look at Zach. I'm covering Zach's picture on my screen. I can't even see who's taking it. The camera work, the guys are so far away.
Still got blurred edges, too.
They're all the way in Haiti.
It's a poor corner into the
It's
near post.
Stachio's taking.
Stachio again. Headed clear for another corner. Maybe second time lucky.
Ian has a seniority list for the flag person. I don't know if you want to read that out.
We'll come to that in a sec then, yeah. Stachio again whips this corner in, this time to the back post.
Oh.
Someone went down there. I think it's Cava, and I think he's calling...
Victoria.
Oh, that's all right. Phew.
The seniority list is Ian, Pedram, R2, Max, and Naz.
Don't let Pedram have a flag, surely. Right, since we've got a bit of a break, I'm still trying to get through the chat from our first stream that crashed. Let's just see. Ian Allen, we had to have CONCACAF sort of thing with military in the stands. It's a contrast to pea bags and fireworks at the hotel. CJ Jew said, what type of player does Canada lack to allow them to go to the next level? That's a fantastic question.
I said, I commented in the chat, I said a dominating central defender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody who could lead
definitely on the
back line.
defensive side.
Like, basically, if you want to, since Herdman coached the men and women, a male version of Kadisha Buchanan.
Good call, Steve.
Yeah, that is a good call.
Well, while we're into the last minute of time, time added on, stoppage time. Thank you so much to everyone who subscribed today. The at least 4 or 5 of you. Now, if you can do one other favor for Michael, and if you could hit the bell thing so you get notifications whenever we do this in the future. And
smash the bell.
As Michael likes to say, smash the like button.
Ring my bell.
That you Zach, you're like becoming a professional YouTuber.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of YouTube with my kids, so.
Yeah, do you know, I watch so much stuff on YouTube that I was starting to think that maybe I should just finally cut the cord. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been watching way more stuff on YouTube as well.
Yeah, let's get to the last few seconds of this game, because we are just coming at the end of stoppage time. 6 minutes of the 5 minutes now. Haiti have a free kick about 30 yards out. He's surely not going to go for goal here because he's got no chance if he does that. But the number 22 at the back of the box, I'm a bit worried about him making a run to get onto a floated ball. In fact, there's two guys, two Haitian guys that's got a bit of space here.
So glad I'm on here because I wouldn't be able to watch the match otherwise. Because it's right now just turning. Oh, here we go. We're back.
Taking ages for this free kick.
Yeah,
that's a terrible free kick from Haiti there. No complaints from us on the Canada side. But you had two guys that were unmarked to have run in at the back if he had played that in a lot better.
Naveed has just smashed the bell.
Yay, Naveed. And talking of smashing things, there is full time. 1-0 to Canada. Kyle Larin with the early match winner. I can't even remember what minute that was now. Let me find that out.
Good job by the ref.
Anyone remember how long or what minute it was that Canada actually scored? 14th minute.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
It was, for anyone that didn't see it, Mark Anthony Kay to Jonathan Osorio. Played it in. Larin, lovely finish. Comes in at the back post unmarked. 1-0 to Canada. The difference in this game. I mean, let's just get your thoughts on that overall performance. I'm a bit disappointed by it, I've got to say. But ultimately, they got the job done, so I maybe shouldn't be.
I agree. Like, it's a good result in one sense, but it doesn't feel good enough. And it means I think they're going to have to work extra hard. I think they're going to have to exert themselves even more than they would have in the second leg. And so it's still all to play for, really.
I think the other thing is that you kind of want them to exercise that ghost in a definitive way after the last meeting. And that certainly is not enough of an exclamation point on winning. Having said that, what you guys both said, it is a win. And we're going with one away goal going into Chicago. So it's a plus. It's just not maybe the plus that we wanted. Enough of a plus.
My concern is that, and I'm not going to mention who said this to me, but this is essentially the next game is the second half of this two-leg, and if we want to harp back onto the Gold Cup, that would be the equivalent to the second half of that game. So it's the second half of the leg, but it is they have time to think about it and realize what they could improve on, and maybe change up the tactics a little bit, make it more beneficial for them, and essentially seeing what Haiti did in that second half might have woken them up, and they might be able to have better tactics to counteract those kind of things.
Yeah, I want to get through some of the chat things here, and then we'll talk a little bit Euros, a little bit Copa America, then we'll wind the stream up. I just want to thank everyone that's been with us at various points of the afternoon. Sorry for the technical issues at the start and at half time. Not sure exactly what it was. We had some stream key issues, but we'll work on that for future ones of these. We're not doing one of these for Tuesday. Zach's working, and I always feel the first legs are the better ones to do it, because it's like the second legs when everything's on the line, really, and you want to maybe enjoy it a bit more.
I don't think I could take the second leg on live on stream. I think I'd actually hit something in the stream by doing
too much swearing, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if Haiti score. It's like, yeah, you don't want to be doing that. That's why it's like I don't want to do any watch-alongs for Scotland in the Euros, because you don't want to see me watching a Scotland game, and it's just you want to enjoy it without the whole. I was going to say the whole world. I'm not sure that we've got that many subscribers, but close anyway.
Because John was asking you, or he's like, "I'll see you guys on Tuesday." And I was going to comment to him that.
Oh yeah, unfortunately not.
See you next Tuesday.
Yes. That's a very popular thing in Scotland.
Oh, good.
Yes. And I'm not sure. Oh, Zach might have clicked tonight.
I think Tractor Boy taught me what that meant.
Yeah. I was going to call one of our podcasts. I was genuinely going to call one of our podcast episodes that, but decided against it. But Colton Merner in the chat said about Liam Miller that he has been 85% in the starting 11 in League One with Charlton in a 6-month spell there, and almost fully a starter with Liverpool under 23s. That's not for me. That's not the level to throw him into one of these games. Maybe bring him off the bench, but I don't know.
Did he not play against? Was it Aruba? He played one of these games, didn't he? I'm forgetting off the top of my head. I mean,
they've all come thick and fast in this kind of little window.
I mean, I think that's where you put him in, right? Like you put him in one of the tune-up games. It wasn't really a tune-up game, but one of the against. I hate to say it, lesser competition, right? When it's a critical game like this game against Haiti, it's not. You put in your guys that you know are your top players.
I hopefully this isn't a spoiler for anyone that was going to go and watch it later, but let's go around the scoreboards. Sporting Kansas City 1, Austin FC 1. Austin took the lead in the 26th minute. Daniel Saloy tied it up in the 74th minute with Johnny Russell getting the assist.
Johnny,
maybe me and Johnny could do a private little Scotland watch-along against the Czech Republic on Monday.
I know I really wish he was at the Euros. I know you do too, Michael.
So do I. Aside from my Johnny Russell love, I do because of what he would bring to that Scotland team. Steve Clarke, though, he's gone with a very domestic squad, and the guys that he's known and the guys that's got him to this level, there's not a lot of quality there, but what they do have is team camaraderie. And like if you listen to Axel, again, another teaser for our next podcast, he likes the Scottish mentality.
Yeah. I also, Michael, I can neither confirm nor deny that it is Johnny Russell, but we have another subscriber, so we're at 402.
Thank you to whoever that was. If you are still watching, we'll have a little bit of chat about Copa America and Euros. We'll just wrap up this though. So the next leg comes on Tuesday. It's a 6 o'clock kickoff. Someone put a thumbs down as we were doing that in the stream. Boo to you.
Jerk.
It's probably a Haitian.
Obviously not a Johnny Russell fan.
No, it's probably a Haitian fan.
Yeah, we had some Haitian fans come through.
That's good then.
Or at least one.
But yeah, 6 o'clock, second leg on Tuesday. It's on One Soccer. After that, it's the Octagon. And I want to clarify something that I got wrong the last time. For some reason in my head, I thought they were only playing 7 games. I thought they were only playing each other once in the Octagon, but they're not. It is home and away. Okay. So John Herdman had talked about he wants to take those games across Canada. He wants to get this team out to everybody. So we can be guaranteed some games at BC Place. Fingers crossed we maybe get the ones when the fans are allowed to be coming in, but that's maybe just selfish. But so that should be good anyway if they're going to take it across the country. I think that's what they should do. Yeah. Take one of the games we can win. Now
Take Mexico to none of it. I think that would be fantastic.
I mean, right now, you're looking at like Honduras, the US, Costa Rica, Mexico, Jamaica. No, they went of their own accord. They are in of their own accord. That's the 5 that's definitely in. Hopefully Canada. Then it's either St. Kitts and Nevis or El Salvador. So 3 teams battling it out there.
Well, I'll update you on the score there. El Salvador defeated both St. Kitts and Nevis 4-0 today.
Wow.
Well, so I think El Salvador will be in there, and it's Panama and Curacao, which I think could go either way, I've got to say.
Mm-hmm.
So Curacao can now officially make the World Cup then?
Yeah.
Okay. Were they like a non-territory team or something before?
They were.
Oh, yes, that's a good point.
Yeah. So they're probably very motivated to advance.
I'm just looking to see when that game kicks off.
4:05 p.m.
Ah, yeah. Hey, do I do a live watch along for that?
Yeah.
Is that the next game?
Blas Perez.
Yeah, today, 4:05 today.
Blas Perez, is he still playing?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. He has been at the games watching with his family. He's done a lot.
Oh,
we should say AFTN writer Blas Perez. He did 2 columns for us. He should have done more, but that was my fault because I was meant to send him topics and he would just write about them. And then I'm not very good with emails, so that never actually happened. But I mean, you're looking at the octagon. You've got to feel Canada, US and Mexico probably definitely through. Definitely got a chance. Costa Rica, beatable. Honduras, beatable. El Salvador, beatable. Jamaica, beatable.
We already beat the States once.
Yeah, that's true, actually. So, I mean, they are beatable. Who watched that absolutely crazy CONCACAF League game between the final, the US-Mexico?
I saw some of it, not all of it. I saw the crazy stuff at the end. I saw
Absolute. I could have watched another hour of that. Like there was especially the game that weren't that exciting, but the last 10 minutes of normal time, stoppage time, there was penalties given, there was bottles thrown into players' faces,
penalties scored, penalties missed. Yeah. It was
Horvath that came on for the US. What a story! Local guy coming back to his hometown, coming off the bench, saving the penalty that wins the US the championship. Absolutely fantastic stuff from them. Yeah,
it did really have it all. There's a red card, all kinds of stuff. It was, but the one thing I'll say though that felt different than some of the other Mexico-US games that I've watched is the quality of football was not as high as usual, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree with that.
And part of that's because it was so chippy and so it was so. The game was so choppy. It was so broken up by bad fouls and extended, cleaning of bottles off the pitch and verbals with each other and the ref.
And stopping it under the new CONCACAF thing for the offensive chants as well. Yeah. I forgot they'd brought that in because I hadn't watched the semi-final with Costa Rica, which was apparently stopped as well for that.
Yeah.
And then the Mexico Federation issued a statement the next day. It's something that's not going away, and they've tried to do this to get it to go away. I don't know that it'll work. I can eventually see a game getting called off, especially if Mexico are trailing, but that could make the Gold Cup a little bit interesting. So Gold Cup is coming up as well. It's a feast of football, June and July. It's so much football to watch. We'll talk a quick bit about the Euros that's on, just to maybe round this up, and then Copa America as well. So we kick things off. Italy, Turkey. We were quite high, Steve, on Turkey. I'm not as high on them after that performance. I know Italy looked good, but Turkey did not look any great shakes.
They got plucked by
they did.
Italy.
To hold my hand up, I actually thought they would, even though I thought they would come, I still think they'll come third in the group. I thought that they would surprise or upset and draw with Italy. So I got the game wrong for sure.
Very different approach from Italy too. I know they commented on this broadcast, but the team is very different than a traditional Italian team, yet still booing Napoli players, which is good to see that not everything changes.
Well, I think the Turks were booing all the players. So because they were.
Well, the Italian fans were booing the Napoli players.
Well, the Turk. I think the Turks, Michael, had a bigger allocation because technically it was in Rome, but they were technically the home team.
Yes, it was crazy when it kicked off all those boos.
Yeah.
So the funny thing for me was that I got very concerned about my predictions because I watched that Tifo football I always mention about on YouTube. I was watching that and they were like, my predictions were going completely against what they were saying. So I'm very concerned about my predictions going forward.
Well, today I got one bang on the FIFA predictor thing. I got the score, who scored first, and the first goal scorer all right. And I used my bonus double points on it. So
I wish I'd used double points for that Italy game because I scored 29 overall because I've got the keeper, I've got Immobile and Insigne in my team. So it's like it was a great start. Also, I want to break this just now. I know it's maybe going to be spoiling the podcast that's coming out, but the Whitecaps are watching the Euros. They are scouting, and I've heard that they are going to be signing Immobile. Oh, sorry, picked that up wrong from the message I got. It's an immobile striker. Yeah, they're signing Goran Pandev, 37-year-old. Because let's be honest, he wouldn't be the first immobile striker to come to the Whitecaps. So that was the first game. 3 games today. Let's start with Denmark, Finland. We spoke a little bit earlier about the horrific incident with Eriksen, and it looks that things are looking better in that regard. Do you think that game should have restarted? I know it was the player's choice, but should UEFA maybe have stepped in and said, look, I don't think this is a good idea? Because I know why both teams wanted to go out there and they wanted to do it for them, but I don't think the Danish players were fully mentally switched on.
No, they weren't. But I think it was I think it was a lose-lose. Like if you don't play it, then the potential for the burden of it all and making it up and squeezing it in, whatever, or not playing it and leaving the tournament or the tournament stopping or whatever, like all those things are negatives in one sense. So I think that, I mean, I want to believe what we've been told. I want to believe it was the players' decision, not that the players were pressured into anything. And
that Christian Eriksen sent that message as well.
Yeah,
he was on FaceTime. Yeah, he was on FaceTime with the players saying, "Yeah, I want you guys to finish the game. I want you guys to play." So I think they did it for the right reasons, but did it impact the game? Absolutely. I mean, Simon. I don't know if there's other reasons. I haven't read anything, but Simon Carr, or however you pronounce his last name, the guy who helped him physically, with his airway and putting him on his side and whatever, like he didn't last the game. Like he came off early, and I don't think it was tactical, because I believe he was replaced by another defender, another guy who played in the Bundesliga, and I don't think anything was wrong with him physically. I think emotionally or
mentally, they must have been so drained. I mean, because we took our dog out after it got called off, and then I had the phone on mainly for an update on Eriksen, and then it came through they were restarting at 11:30, and I was like, what? Surely they're not playing.
And the goal.
Well, see, Schmeichel doesn't make mistakes like that.
No. That was not a howler, but it was not good.
But also the penalty that they missed, Eriksen takes a lot of the penalties for Denmark.
Oh yeah, and the guy who took it, he's actually a former Bayern player. He came through at Bayern.
It was a horrible penalty.
It was bad.
But then going back is tough in the same hours later. But even if they were going to do it the next day, I mean, this is a huge blow both mentally and he's one of their arguably 2 best players, probably their best player on the pitch. So there's no way that you really turn out positive in this.
I just want to say Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, he also played for Tottenham, so that's where he learned how to take penalties.
When I knew it was restarting, we've got a WhatsApp group for our East 5 podcast, which interestingly, because we've got Kenny Duker as a guest host for it for the Euros, and he's a doctor, we were talking about the situation in that, and he says, like, from what he witnessed and what they witnessed him doing as a doctor, he was stunned that he then saw that he was okay. It's like it beggared belief for him as a medical professional. But as soon as I saw it was starting, I said in that chat, I fancy putting some money in Finland. I don't think Denmark's going to be in the right state for this. And I didn't, and I regret that now. Probably wouldn't have been huge odds, but I just fancied Finland after that. The early game, Wales and Switzerland, Swiss impressed me more than I thought. I thought Wales were pretty poor in that one. And that guy that got the goal, though, Kiefer Moore, he's an anomaly of the modern game because he's a throwback to like the 80s, the big target guy where you just lump the ball to him. So many teams cannot handle a player like that. I'd love the Whitecaps to have a player like that. Still have to get the ball on his head at some point. But the way he took that goal, absolute beautiful header. He didn't even look at the goal. He knew exactly where to angle that.
And the Whitecaps have rejected some players like that, unfortunately, in the past.
Yes.
And the thing is, you talk about that type of center forward. The reason why he is so effective nowadays is because they've moved from like the big lumbering center backs to the smaller, more agile ones that ball control more. So they're not able to handle a player like that can score goals anymore. So that's why he's very effective. If he can pot them, he's a very valuable commodity.
When the Swiss took the lead, I didn't see them not seeing the game out. It was the right decision to rule the goal out for offside. I'd still prefer it not to have any VAR and just go with the linesman, whatever. How the linesman didn't flag it, though, is baffling because it looked offside.
Yes.
But at least it was the right decision. But as I mentioned during the earlier bit there, I still think the Swiss should have had a penalty at the end of the first half. It's like, you can't... But the Welsh defender, how on earth can you think doing that in the box with cameras everywhere is the sensible thing to do?
Dodged a bullet for sure.
Yeah. There's a comment in the chat from Colton. From Ian, who says Switzerland looked really good early in the second half, but then became the gang that couldn't shoot straight, which is very, very true. See if there's any more comments about Euro stuff here. Oh, it wasn't one of us that used the phrase "the crown jewel of CONCACAF," was it? I'm going to guess that's Gareth Wheeler that used that.
Probably.
That or on the commentary, because Colton says the crown jewel of CONCACAF. Can I have what he's having?
He was more high on turkey than you guys were.
It just makes me sleepy, really. So I'll just get through some more just general chats things. So Colton again. A draw, beatable away is the real question for Canada. Earlier discussion. Wish we had more guys playing down there that are used to these conditions. Cava's experience down there could be really helpful to Canada. They're interviewing Stephen Hart apparently.
They're talking about the 8-1.
I'm going to be interviewing Stephen Hart in the coming weeks as well. So
yeah, don't bring up the Honduras match. It looks like that's I have the sound off, but.
I think that's what they're talking about. That yeah.
Why?
So Belgium, Russia was the last Euros game today. It was 3-0. Did it finish for Belgium in the end?
Yes, 3-0.
I didn't get to watch a lot of the second half because I was trying to get my One Soccer stream to actually work, which I was having issues, as I mentioned. But I mean, it was dominant as expected. Romelu Lukaku. I won't go on in case we get a copyright strike or something. I don't know, or just banned for offensive chants. But he was looking sharp. I didn't add him into my fantasy team. Up front, I've got Immobile. Can't remember who, and Lyndon Dykes from Scotland. Oh, maybe I did add Lukaku. I'm going to check that.
The thing is, after Lukaku scored that first goal, apparently went to the camera. I missed it, but he went to the camera and he said, "I love you, Christian," into the camera. So he definitely, I think he's a teammate of Christian Eriksen too.
I do have Lukaku in my team, and I should have made him my captain. He got me 10 points.
I only scored 3 points today.
Oh, and Herdecki is my backup keeper. He would have had 13 points. But I also have Højbjerg, who missed the penalty, who had 0 points.
Tielemans scored me 3 points today. He was the only... Oh, and I had Denier and as a defender who didn't score any points.
How many points?
Denier, it's the truth.
Yeah. I had the miracle man, Simon Kjær, on my team, and he got only 2 points.
Oh, I've got Mbappe as my other striker. How could I forget that?
I have Luva, Thomas, and Romelu.
Nice. Lyndon Dykes, watch that. He's the Scottish guy.
I have N. Patterson. My team.
Yeah, Rangers player.
I didn't
going to get a lot of minutes though.
That's okay.
I didn't join up with this one because, as you guys know, once I sign up for a team, I never change it. So I didn't want to even start.
Well, the game's tomorrow: England, Croatia, Austria, North Macedonia. Come on, the North Macedonians! I am getting absolute pelters in my East 5 group for backing North Macedonia. Kenny Duker is having endless fun with me, and I hope I have the last laugh. And then Holland, Ukraine. So, interesting games. I'll probably get up at 6 for the England game. Then the big one on Monday, it's Scotland, the Czech Republic. I'll be up at 6. Poland, Slovakia, Spain and Sweden. So, there's another big tournament kicking off on Sunday, though. It's Copa America. All the games are going to be on TSN or TSN Online, most of them being TSN Online, which is disappointing. I had a look through the TV guide, and there's hardly any games in the early going that's actually on TSN itself. I'm a bit disappointed by that.
They have 4 channels.
Yeah.
This is always what bothers me about TSN. And then when you look at it, 5 channels, and there'll be like NASCAR on 3 or like tennis. No, you love NASCAR. That's great. You got 1 channel. Could you give a couple other channels to something else?
I don't understand it. Why have those channels if you're going to feature the same thing on it?
Because they have it as like set to like local.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be local, even though they're not, because they don't like, at least Sportsnet they put, Sportsnet Pacific, Sportsnet East, and stuff like that. TSN just does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't even know who's 1 and who's 2.
Michael, what's your team name in the pool in the thing?
Just away from the numbers.
Oh, okay.
I just kept it simple.
Oh,
I'm 10th in the AFTN league.
You scored 32 points. You're crushing me.
Well, I scored 29 yesterday alone.
You had Donnarumma in net. Oh, there you go.
Apparently, I'm neutral though. They didn't add me into the Scotland thing. I couldn't see how to pick Scotland as my country.
Oh,
so okay. So you're talking about, so the groups are broken up into 2 groups, and what is this, the 3rd location that they're playing in now? Brazil?
Yeah.
It was canceled. It was supposed to be Colombia and Argentina, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Crazy amounts of variant outbreak.
Argentina canceled it because there was crazy amounts of COVID, and there's even worse COVID in Brazil, and they're like, bring it on.
The Brazil players said they weren't going to play. So I'm assuming they've changed their mind about that now because their first game's tomorrow.
Before we go on with the Euro talk, with the Copa talk, I have one more Euro question. Michael, can you please explain to me what there's 2 Englishmen in your team here?
Because I want to score points.
Luke Shaw.
I also think Foden is going to have a good tournament.
Okay, sorry. Carry on with the Copa talk. Brazil. I don't. It's crazy.
So I'm gonna give you a couple of news headlines just before we get into it. So Venezuela, 12 players have tested positive for COVID-19 before their match.
Wow.
So they've named 15 additional players or something like that to the team. Brazil's top court did dismiss bids to block Copa America. So there was a case against it. And those are the 2 major headlines from the last day or so.
I missed that. Totally. That's insane.
Yeah, the Venezuela thing just happened earlier today, and then the Brazil court case that was decided yesterday. No, but there is going on, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's going on. It should be good. I don't follow South American football very well, so I'm not even going to pretend to be any kind of an expert in this. Brazil, Venezuela tomorrow. I think we can probably, from what you've just said, put all our money in Brazil. Colombia, Ecuador, the other game tomorrow. Brazil, Venezuela is on TSN. Colombia, Ecuador is online. Then the next games kick off on Monday. It's Argentina, Chile. I think that one is also on TSN. And then Paraguay, Bolivia. So Group A is the South Zone, which is Argentina, Bolivia, Uruguay, Chile, Paraguay. And Group B is the North Zone, Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, and Peru.
So basically, if I'm not mistaken, you essentially in a day with Euros going on, you could essentially watch 10 hours of soccer.
I
Of the Euros and Copa America.
That's like a normal club weekend, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, maybe for you guys. But I've never seen international soccer where you can watch like 10 hours a day.
It could be too much at one point, I think.
Yeah. There's no games on the Tuesday, so there won't be any like double headers or anything like that where you have to watch
Canada plays on Tuesday plus the 3 Euro games.
I've also been watching the A-League games on YouTube because they're live on a channel called My Football. So that some of them are at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. Wow. So I'm usually up at that time anyway. So I've been watching that. But I think let's just call it a day. We've chatted enough. I should probably let my wife out of the dungeon. Sorry, the bedroom upstairs. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Let's just before we go, a quick round the table. Will, any final words? Let folk know where they can find you online.
No, really enjoyed this. Always love chatting and watching games with you guys. And you can follow me at William A. Silver on Twitter.
The A stands for awesome.
It does.
Zach, any final words?
No, thanks. Thanks for everyone who joined us today. It was a good time, and hope everyone enjoys Tuesday as well. Thanks for all the comments in the chat, all the subscriptions, the bell notifications, and the likes. The one thing I would want to say, if you were the person who put the thumbs down, that's totally fine. But maybe leave a comment of what you didn't like, because I mean, we like to do things the way we like them, but we also like feedback. And so, if you don't like what we're doing, let us know, because maybe it's
constructive feedback.
Constructive, sure, because maybe it's stuff we can adapt to. And but yeah, thanks so much. It's good to have feedback, and it's good to have conversation. So thanks to everyone who joined us.
Steve, any final words?
Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties. We had a few there, but overall, enjoyed the game. Enjoy watching with you guys. But I think Tuesday I'll be in the fetal position.
Well, we had 247 folk watching at various points so far. What we found out from our previous one is a lot of folk have watched these after. 473 we got, which was our best of our watch-alongs so far for the Aruba game last Saturday. So thank you to everyone that has watched today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for continuing to support us. Maybe you can check out all our stuff away from the numbers, aftn.ca. Our podcasts go up in that. Also, if you wanted something else to watch this afternoon, check out our Euro preview podcast, our video that we put up. It's our 2020 Euro preview show. It's slowly getting folk that have watched it seem to have liked it. We just need some more folk to watch. We've got a new podcast coming out. It's Whitecap stuff. I had a chat with Axel Schuster. I was allocated half an hour with him, so obviously we went 50 minutes. That will be coming out probably Sunday night.
Yeah, in the Euro podcast, you'll be able to see us picking we went group by group, picked the winners and placements, and then picked the actual eventual winner.
How you did it, Steve, as well. I like that.
And then we also drafted between us 8 teams each, and we'll be updating those pools as we go along.
Oh, are you guys going to do something for the next round as well, knockouts?
Well, we carry all the way through.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So you give us a follow on Twitter at AFTN Canada. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. As always, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, take care. Thanks for watching, and allez la rouge.